Good morning. I'm Austin Griffith. I wanted to do a dev update on the DAOG before I dive into my real work, I guess. So the DAOG is, if you haven't heard of it, it's like this open-ended governance game where we have this sort of browser-based game with emojis, and each emoji is backed by a smart contract, and there's a DAO that allows you to vote in new emojis. The purpose of it, we're still in discovery. You know, I'm still trying to kind of figure it out, kind of do R&D, kind of learn more. Just I don't know. Like the purpose of it, I still haven't figured out exactly yet. We're definitely getting a DAO in someone's hands. We're getting participation. We're getting people doing things on chain. I have these cards that I hand out that provide instant onboarding. You shoot that, you're in the game, you're playing. You know, I'm putting blockchain in people's hands. I'm putting a DAO in people's hands. We're playing around with economic situations. Maybe we're doing it for the art. I don't exactly know. Okay, so I'm gonna just do. We deployed a Moloch. We deployed a DAOG. Oh, there's gonna be a spelling error here. Yep, I'll get to that. This is development, private alpha development. But let me take you through the game just to show you some quick mechanics of how the game works. So 3 queens is this new template, and it's set up to be played in multiple sessions, and you can click any of these links to just jump in and play one of the sessions. It's massive multiplayer, but I'm just going to play single player for now. Basically, as people join, your game will scale up depending on how many people are in the game, and it's I don't know. We haven't found the limit of the game yet. The limit right now is just loading contracts. You'll see that if you get down into some of the bigger sessions down at the bottom of this article, you will it's slow, right? It's got to load all these smart contracts, and it takes its time. Okay, so here's how the game starts. You start with, you can see kind of your territory around you, sort of, and you own this one tile. And here are the rules. Here's your inventory. So you have 5 population to start, and we're trying to get to 20. So the first person to get to 20 will win the pot. Everyone buys in, and the winner wins the pot. So let's just get started. Let's build a tent. So we'll spend 3 of our population. We'll build this first tent. And we also have 2 more population that we can just kind of click here, and it gives us the ability to kind of commit, reveal, explore. And your exploration is about claiming new territory, but you also may come upon some discovery. So mountains can be discovered 15% of the time. And again, these are just rules that we added, right? And the point of using emojis is anyone can add new rules. So you don't have to be a graphic designer or a game designer to be able to change the entire way the game works. You can just come over here into the Moloch and pick out some contract and say, okay, now you can discover trees, and those trees make peaches, right? And then you need peaches to feed your population. Everything is kind of open-ended, and you kind of vote through the game. But at first, this first level and this first few levels, we won't really use the Moloch. We'll just kind of play the game with some set rules just to get used to how it works. You kind of need your players to be very into the game, and it's very complicated. It takes a while to understand. And so I have these 2 game ideas. One is a mass adoption type game that's easy and onboarding is smooth. This is not that game. This is kind of for crypto nerds that are also into I don't know. I don't even know. Discovering edge cases and DAOs and playing around with on-chain governance. I don't know. Maybe gaming and crypto nerds. Some kind of combination of gaming and crypto nerds with a hint of R&D. Maybe that's what this game is for. I don't know. It's for the art, man. It's for the art. So we've got our 2 tents down. I've got enough population to build a 3rd tent. You want to get those tents down as quick as you can, because you want to be able to generate population as fast as you can, because the first person to 20 is going to win. And we're just kind of we're using our discovery to take over more tiles to then give us the ability to build more tents. And this is basically the general mechanics of the thing. You're kind of clicking on your edge territories to explore. you're finding these new territories, and then when you find new tiles, you can build on top of them. And then as your tiles, each tile will do something, each emoji will do something new and interesting, but the tent happens to be generating population, and we're just collecting that, trying to get to 20. I think I want to put down one more. I think 5 is probably the happy number there. There we go. So now it's just a race to the finish, right? So let's see. Let's go through the article a little bit. It just kind of talks about, here's the rule set. You can kind of click around up here to see the rules. You know that it's time to collect there. You can quick collect. So you can click on this and you can click collect here, or you can like just quick collect. You just kind of click, and you can collect all of those. One feedback I got, I've been doing a lot of like one-on-one sessions with people, just playing with them, and one good piece of feedback I got is basically, I think it was Alex from FlexDAVs. He's like, I'm just constantly clicking. Like you're basically always paying attention to victory, to clicking, and you're not like playing the game and learning more about it. And I think it's more about using the DAO and getting in and kind of experiencing the rules and thinking about how you could make more rules. So we have a ways to go still with getting it smooth. But let's go look at now that we've kind of played through it, right? Maybe you have some buddies over, you play through the first round. Then you're ready sort of for the second round, right? Let me just go ahead and copy this, and anybody can get in and do this. If you need some DAOG tokens, just hit me up. I'll send you a wallet with some tokens in it, or multiple wallets if you want to have some people over to play it. But we're going to grab this second one. So each one of these templates brings in a few new rules. So in the last one, we just had tents and mountains and population. In this one, we're going to kind of extend that out, and we'll have tents and populations and the mountains will create production, but we're also going to add a few new things. We're going to add goats and chickens that generate cheese and eggs, and then on top of your tent, you can upgrade it to a house, and your house will generate happy population, and the winner needs to have 20 happy population to win. So I'll just go ahead and deploy that, and we'll get started. And so there's some other little tricks here. One thing is, so you're going to need to discover mountains to get production. So you'll have to do plenty of discovery around. You'll have to do lots of searching and spend your utility emoji, the smiley face, to do that. Also, chickens and goats have to be raised near a tent. I've upgraded my tents in this screenshot to houses, but it has to start as a tent. So you kind of have to lay out your city correctly to figure it out. And we're joining. So yeah, like if I click on this goat, it's just going to say, oh, it's a proximity buildable, and it generates cheese. Oh, and earnings. So you can also get a steak out of a goat if you wait long enough, but we won't use that until level 3. And let me just scroll down to level 3. So level 3 brings in some new, okay, let's get started over here, get our tent going. So level 3 brings in some new things. It brings in like this civic building, and then you can generate educated population and trees, generate peaches, and then the steaks from the goat. Just like new and more rules and more resources. You can see that my inventory is full of different resources, and kind of the game gets more and more complicated as we bring these in. Again, we haven't even we haven't touched the Moloch yet, right? Like this is just getting a user in, getting them used to it. So then the fourth level is even more complicated. So there's you've taken your tent and you've upgraded to a house, and then you've upgraded to a castle, and the castle will generate queens, and you have to have 3 queens to win level 4. It takes about 45 minutes to play through it. I think we need to shorten the game. I think we need to clean up some of the mechanics. There's a long list down here at the bottom of things that are like to do. But you can see this game gets really complicated. Pretty soon you've got all these different rules. You have to do all this really intricate stuff to get the game to work, and you're competing with, in a massive multiplayer way, like you're competing with the whole rest of the map. Everyone else is on this same map with you. Let's see if I can. So, oh yeah, so it's in the burner wallet, by the way. If you go to apps, the DAOG is now in the burner wallet. If I go to this same map with another account, this game is kind of made for like a cool, like you have a central screen, you have a bunch of people over, you have a central screen, so you can see that there's the whole map there. So you can see that like. Now watch this. If I like go explore over here, we're gonna see. Oh, I don't have enough utility emoji. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to explore. We'll see that show up over on the global view, and it's a little slower because it's MetaMask and it has to like go to. It's actually talking to my own node, but it's still slower. Anyways, so you'll see that the map updates, and so you can imagine that as more people join, this map will get bigger. But you can have, I don't know, we've never found the edge, but you can have a ton of players playing this, and they're all playing in the same world, and they're all kind of like competing to own territory, to generate resources, to get to this victory condition. And then they're using a DAO, they're using some kind of like, they're using this Moloch where they can bring in new rules and kind of do on-chain voting and set up like little economies and markets and tokens and lots of really fun, interesting things to explore within the game. Let me go back and let's see what's in terms of a dev update. I have this giant to-do list here of interesting things that I need to fix, things that I know are clunky, just like a giant list of things to do that I will eventually get to when I have time. So session 5 is the most interesting thing, I think. Once you've figured out the game and you've gotten good at it, and there's a bunch of us that are kind of at that level. They're like, okay, I can whale on this game, I can get through this quickly, I get it. Now it's time to bring in the DAO, right? So now that you have this giant set of rules here and this complicated game that's already ready to go, what we do is we set up this session 5 has diamonds as the victory condition, but diamonds don't exist within the game mechanics. So basically you have to kind of play through the game and build up stuff, build up your world, but then you have to use this Moloch over here to figure out like, okay, how are diamonds going to fit into this world? And you almost need to do it in a way where it fits the narrative of the game, right? Like it's almost like we're all the dungeon master and we're all kind of like creating this narrative within the game, and your DAO has to sort of vote for things that matter, right? Like, for instance, if I put in a rule that's like, oh, an alien can be built on an empty square and it generates 10 diamonds, no one in the DAO is going to vote for that. That doesn't make sense. Like, it needs to fit the narrative of the game and also kind of game theoretically match up with everything. And so like your resources need to be, You need to have a set of resources that build things, and those things need to generate more resources, and then those resources need to be used. Like it needs to fit the scheme of the upgrades, or hopefully the DAO won't vote it in. What do we have? Oh, we have enough. Let's get some chickens. Let's get some goats. Oh yeah. Let's do some discovery. Look at that. So now I'm going to start producing eggs. I'm going to start producing cheese. Eventually I'll be able to build a house on top of my tent. But that's the dev update. I kind of go into this cool situation where maybe you've discovered more mountains, and you set up a proposal that says mountains can be upgraded to volcanoes, and maybe volcanoes produce diamonds, and you could see how the kind of competition would start to happen there, where someone would vote against that if they don't have very many diamonds. So we need to play around with how this will work, how people will compete. Once there's skin in the game and people have money on the line, who knows what will happen. So that's the dev update for the DAOG. Thanks for checking it out. You can get in and play. All the sessions are basically links that take you right to the thing that lets you create the game. So you can play one player if you want. If you want to play multiple players, we've got a Telegram. Come join us. There's definitely some clunky pieces, and I'm still figuring it out. I've got a big to-do list at the bottom, but always open to feedback too. You'll probably notice the things that I've noticed at the first few things, but maybe like item 3 through 6 that you list that I need to fix are pretty important to me, and I need to hear about it. So yeah, so feedback is good. Thanks for checking it out. Oh yeah, I got cheese, I got eggs. I'm about to build a house. Word. All right, thank you. Happy Tuesday.